Hello, and this is Devika Nadig, and we are bringing you the third episode of various ideas and researches that human beings have done to understand this enigma of intelligence and how can we help it grow, and various things like is it fixed, is it dynamic, and so on. So the earlier episodes, if you have missed it, you might want to go back to it. I've talked about the first idea came from Alfred Binet about the IQ, intelligence quotient, and then Daniel Goleman and the world said that that alone is not enough for success. So Daniel Goleman gave the idea of emotional intelligence or EQ, which I have spoken about in the second episode. The third episode actually talks about the work of Howard Gardner, and we are all familiar with Howard Gardner's MI, multiple intelligence. Around the same time as Goleman, a couple of years here and there, Gardner talked about intelligence is not one fixed entity. It is dynamic, as we've already known, the head, the heart, and the hand in the previous episode. And we also know that there are ideas of creativity, there are ideas about, being intelligent in various domains, not just maths and language and logic. Okay, there are various other things that Gardner talked about, and that came as a breath of fresh air for so many of us who were feeling trapped that, oh, you're intelligent only if you're good in math and science. Right? So he said, so we already knew this from the previous two episodes also. If you have missed it, no problem, go back to it, but in case you don't, we've talked about Binet, who talked about language and linguistic ability and mathematics and logic. And we've talked about Daniel Goleman in the second episode, who talked about interpersonal and intrapersonal and social intelligence. So these four we already had. So it seems to fit, right? But then Gardner broke these conventions and said that no, there are four more ways of thinking about intelligence, and he created a stir in the world of education and even beyond education with his MI meaning multiple intelligence. He created a stir, it was a buzz, he was himself taking workshops in schools, and we need to understand what exactly do we do with this though, So Gardner said that, there are four more. There is kinesthetic or bodily movement, there is visual spatial intelligence to understand in spaces, which is in design. There is naturalist intelligence, which is in nature, flora, fauna, and there is a musical intelligence of pitch, rhythm, timbre, and so on. You don't have to play an instrument, but you need to appreciate and understand music. Besur hai, itna to samajhna chahiye, kam se kam. So what happened? We had these four. Language and mathematical from Binet, interpersonal, intrapersonal from Daniel Goleman. And now, Howard Gardner said kinesthetic, visual spatial, naturalist, and musical. So together, they form the famous 8 multiple intelligences. The multiple intelligence framework, which has flown so seamlessly into our lesson plans. But by the way, Shikshangan advocates this simply as a variety in pedagogy. We need not go overboard with MI. We need not convert everything that we do in our schools to MI. It is one more route, one more pathway to vary your teaching. And for the whole class, sometimes do something with nature, sometimes something for intrapersonal, which is just reflection, sometimes interpersonal in collaborative activities, sometimes visual spatial, drawing, PowerPoint presentations, and so on. Math and language we do all the time anyways, sometimes musical, if you can bring in music to the class, and bodily kinesthetic when you have movement for the whole class. Why? Number one, there is no standardized test for MI, so don't fall prey to my child is good at math or your child is good at music, because you will label them and they may not learn anything else for the rest of their life, and that is not the idea. You can learn anything at any time because the brain is extremely plastic, as we know. Okay, so these are the 8 multiple intelligences, and at Shikshangan we just say simply use them to vary your pedagogy, but for the entire class, so that everybody gets an exposure to all 8, because Gardner himself says we are not zero in anything. We have some more and some less, but all of us have all 8. And mind you, my teachers need to have all 8. Okay, so if you like what we are presenting through Shikshangan, do like and subscribe to our channel. We work hard to bring you what are the best ideas in education in a very, very simple way, so that you can practice it in your class. This was the third episode. For the next episode, we'll bring you more exciting ideas of what have people done to understand this enigma of intelligence. Till then, signing off. Devika, Nadig. Thank you.